Hello there everyone, Don Juan here with the Kago Torii analysis. Now we just finished playing this game and I just want to give it an analysis, thoughts that I think, and I also really want to go into some of the lore or theory about some of the things that I saw within the game. So let's get started. So first of all, the demo was pretty great. The dark ambiance was really good. The text boxes were really well done, and so was the character design with the voice acting, the pixel art. I guess the character movement looked a little bit awkward. These are just pictures, so you're not gonna see any movement. I just put together a little slideshow with my bad computer skills. But yeah, so like I was saying, as you can see from my videos, when the character moves, she looks a little bit awkward, kind of like robotic with her legs and arms kind of just like moving there at her side. But of course, remember, like I said, this is just a demo. The full game is going to look and sound a lot better than it already does. So let's go back to the things that we were able to see within the demo. So, ambiance, really good. They made it really dark, but like at the same time, it's not like too dark, so you can't see. Like I guess the only part that they did that was the attic, but for that part we had the matches. The only reason I even had to freaking scurry around a little bit in my third part of the demo was because I was stupid and I used up like a bunch of the matches. But if you like save your matches in craft, then like the attic should give you no problem at all. As for the rest of the house, it's not like too dark for you not to see anything. You can easily navigate around and still catch everything with the amount of lighting that there is like surrounding the character. Now let's start going into some of the other things for the game itself. Now, I was just looking shit up on Google and stuff, and I was trying to see what the name of the game itself meant. So the Kago and Kago Torii is like a cage or a basket, and I picked birds because that's a theme in the game. Torii is the gate itself. So like the gate that we see here, that's called a Torii, and they're usually like around Japanese shrines or temples, right? And so sometimes these gates were used as like wards or whatever, and other times they were just like, oh, I don't know, they had different meanings really. So then I was very interested in another thing that popped up when I was looking up Kago and Torii, and that was Kagome. So Kagome roughly translates to caged bird. And that's a Kagome, right? But then there's another thing, Kagome, that's like a game, right? And so like in this game, you have a group of children surrounding one blindfolded child in the middle. Now they dance around the person and they sing a song. You can look up the song yourself. Just look up Kagome Kagome, and then that person in the middle is the Oni. After they finish the song, the Oni is supposed to guess which person is standing behind him or her based on what he heard when they were singing. He or she heard when they were singing. So that's Kagome Kagome. So I find it really interesting that they used Kagome first of all for a caged bird, and then Kagome Kagome for this. Or you can kind of see where the caged bird thing comes from in this game. The Oni is kind of like a caged bird. The Oni is the bird, and the children surrounding him are the cage. So then we have this. So this is a Japanese yokai called an Ame Onna, and that roughly translates to rain woman. And from the research and stuff that I looked into, this is probably the most likely thing that I think of as the black spirit thing with many arms that was chasing Inko in the beginning of the game, because the rain woman Ame Onna, she shows up when it rains, or when she shows up she brings the rain with her, and what she does is she goes around villages and stuff, and she takes children and she puts them into a sack that she slings on her back. So what we see is her silhouette, right? So like honestly, it could be like that could be like the woman, and like the bag with like or like and then like the many arms coming out of her back. That could be like all the kids that she's abducted. Trying to escape. It's just something that I was thinking about. One sec. Yeah, so yeah, that's like the Ameona. So then, I was just like looking around in the game, and some other things caught my mind. So one of them was Inko's Albino Sparrow. So, well, albino raven, albino sparrow. So, her sparrow's name is Suzume. Now, when I looked up Suzume and like sparrows and stuff, this legend popped up, and it's called the tongue-cut sparrow, or the sparrow with the split tongue. And how this old legend goes is that a man found like an injured sparrow on the mountainside. He saved the sparrow and he was like nursing it back to health. But then, his wife like hated the sparrow. She was like, "Oh, why is my husband like giving this little bird, this insignificant bird, all our food when we like don't have that much? We're poor." Now, like honestly, she wasn't like thinking this way because she was like concerned about their poverty, but because she was greedy. She wanted more food for her, right? So one day when the husband like had to go out to do some work on the mountains, his wife, he gave her in charge of taking care of the sparrow. And so then, like when they were at home, she obviously wasn't watching it because she's a bitch. And then, like the sparrow ate some of her food that she had been like saving up, and like in her rage, she cut out the sparrow's tongue and she just like threw it onto the mountain. When the husband came home, he noticed that the sparrow wasn't there, and he went back up the mountain to look for the sparrow. He eventually found, well, like some other sparrows, they like saw what he was doing. They had seen how he saved the other sparrow's life, and so they took him up to the mountain, and they gave him, they fed him, they clothed him and everything, like in thanks for saving the sparrow's life. And then right when he was gonna leave, they offered him two baskets, a small one and a big one. Now the man picked the small one because he thought, oh, well, like even if like they have like some grand reward that they're gonna give me, I'm pretty old and it's gonna be hard for me to carry this down the mountain. So he picked the small one, and when he got home, he opened it. He saw that it was full of gold. He told his wife about it, and she like ran up the mountain to where the sparrows were, and she demanded that she receive a reward for having taken care of the sparrow. They gave her the large basket, which when she took it down the mountain herself, but like they told her not to open it until she got to the bottom. Well, she obviously couldn't. Her greed took hold of her and stuff, and she opened it, and out came like a myriad of yokai and monsters that scared her. She fell down the mountain and died. So the moral of the story is that purity of friendship overcomes evil, and of greed and jealousy. Another one is greed leads to one's own demise. So her greed got her killed, and la la la. Purity friendship with the man and the sparrow. So like that was like the story surrounding Suzume, Inko's raven. Now Inko herself, yeah, I like looked up her name, and the only thing I could get was parakeet. And the thing that first popped into my mind was Kamadeva, the Hindu god of love, who like rides on a colorful parrot slash parakeet. And another very interesting thing that I found out is that if you spell Inko in a different way, or like with the kanji could also mean like a relationship where one is caged and needs to be freed. I find this to be extremely interesting because of the situation that Inko is at home with her mother. How she's like locked up in her room. Her mom's like, "Oh, don't leave, bad Inko," even though she was gonna like die and crap. So like the relationship between like Inko and her mom is one where Inko is trapped and she like needs to be freed. I don't know if this is going to like pertain to the game later on, but it's just something interesting that I found. Well, that's all the time that I have for this video. This is my part 1 of my analysis, and I will be releasing part 2 shortly. Thank you all for watching. This has been Don Juan, and I'll see you all in the next video.